Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to class tonight. Just to remind everybody, the items that we are going to be covering tonight are the following. We will be covering essential tools to get your start in career in real estate. A couple of the main websites to know. We'll talk a little bit about lead generation. We'll talk about your business cards, marketing material, and then we'll end with some taglines and branding ideas. Let's get started. So first and foremost, tools that you need to know to get your career started. The main thing is, well, to have a successful operating machine is what we like to call it, is making sure that you have access to all the websites, making sure you have access to the lock boxes, make sure that you understand that if you don't pay your MLS dues, you don't have access to your MLS. If you don't pay your Supra, you don't have access to the lock boxes, that kind of stuff. So a lot of the tools that I'm going to be referring to are the websites that you need to know, the lead gen, that kind of stuff. But on the screen, I don't know if you have this, Michael and Dee, but this is the Pathway to Professionalism PDF that I created when I started doing the training. And this PDF, I can either email it to you, or we do have printed copies here in the office, and same for you online. If you guys don't have that, I can email it. But basically what it is it is a rundown of everything that you need to know in real estate, but in a small compact version. Obviously, it's just notes, if you have a buyer, this is what you need. If you have a seller, this is what you need, and this is what you do. These are the websites that you need to know. This is the program that you should have access to. So tonight, just follow along online, and I can email this to you if you don't have it. Questions so far? No? Okay. Let's see. So first and foremost, Arizona Association of Realtors, the AARonline.com. This is a great website. It talks about legislative and political affairs, risk management forums such as buyer's advisory, information about gaining designations like accredited buyer agent. You can find continuing education classes on there. Every 2 years, we have to renew our license, and 24 hours, I believe, of continuing education is needed. So you can find classes on this website. You can also find classes on WeServe, which is the association that we are a member of. So if you didn't know that, write that down. WeServe is an association where we hang our license. Well, we hang our license here, but we're part of that association. Does everybody have access to Transaction Desk? Okay, so you will want to make sure that you have gone into Transaction Desk, because when you do get that first client, this is where all your forms are going to be. So you can log in directly from Armless, which is just the MLS. And I will. Oh, I'm afraid you won't be able to see that online if I switch sites. So I'll just stay on this for now. But when you log into the MLS, in the menu tab, there is the option to go to Transaction Desk. Make that a favorite on your MLS login screen, because you will use this link all the time. You can also access it directly through, I think it's transactiondesk.com, but the most easiest way is from Armless, because you can actually transfer information directly from Armless to Transaction Desk. It auto-populates like tax, address, assessor number, legal description, that kind of stuff. So when you first log into Transaction Desk, if I am not mistaken, it is your NRDS number and your last name. I will confirm that right now. Give me 1 second. NRDS. Yeah, so when you became a member, you were given a code. If you don't remember what your number is, when you log into the MLS, top right screen, you'll see your like initials or profile photo. Go to your profile and it'll give you your NERDS number. Okay. It's been a long time, so I'm asking a new mentee what it was when they logged in. But anyway, so Transaction Desk is probably one of the most important programs that you need to have access to, because again, this is where all your forms are going to be. This is where you're going to set up your buyer and your seller templates, maybe a new build template, maybe a rental template, like whatever transactions you plan on doing, whether it be buy, sell, new build, whatever it might be. But you definitely want to get familiar with this site because again, these are where all your forms are. You also need to know how to update new forms because as of August 24th, a lot of our forms change because of the lawsuit and everything that happened with our commissions. We had to update all our forms. The contract was updated. And if you don't know your way around Transaction Desk, you may not have known that those forms were even updated. So you might be using outdated forms. Arizona Department of Real Estate, ADRE. This is an important one to understand or know, go to and look it up. This is where you upload your certificates for your continuing education. This will tell you how many hours you need to do, what hours you still have left, what hours you've actually completed. But this is the place that you go to renew your license every 2 years. This is where you pay your every 2-year fee. I can't remember what the fee is. I think for brokers, it's like $120 every 2 years. I would recommend that after you take a continuing education class so that you don't lose that certificate and you're not chasing it down at the end of the 2 years, go ahead and upload it to this site immediately so that it's done. You don't have to worry about it because they keep record of it. And that way, when you do get close to your 2-year renewal, you know, everything's already there. It'll tell you what classes you still need to do. As far as continuing education classes, our brokerage offers quarterly classes that will cover your requirements. So if you're able to attend those, please do. It's going to be every quarter. Well, it has been every quarter. I don't know where they're going to be held now. I'm assuming they'll be held here now that we've got an amazing training room. But like I said, I would recommend just uploading them to this site. Yeah, I think that's the website. It actually looks a little different than the one I do.
Do you want us to hold all questions?
No, if it pertains to the material, ask away.
Okay, does we sign in on the sign up sheet for that? Does the front office do anything with those or is it up to us?
That's a great question. So when you take a continuing education class, it is WeServe that actually emails it to you. So they don't email it to the broker. The broker does not keep track of that. So whoever the instructor works for, whether it be WeServe or whatever other organization it is, they're the ones that email it to you. Huh?
I've never seen that.
So we want to look, yep, we want to look into that. And if you're not getting them, look in your junk mail. Sometimes they will go to your junk mail.
Okay.
And make sure when you sign in, you are writing clearly and legibly, because otherwise it's going to get to some random person and they're going to be like, what is this? That website just doesn't look right to me. Hold on. azre.gov is what I think it is. Yeah, it's azre.gov. I mean, this still might take you there, but I wrote this a couple years ago. So azre.gov is the website for the Arizona Department of Real Estate. Okay. Another important website for you to know is obviously ARMLS. That's the Arizona Multi-Listing Service. This is where you will find the listings, tax records, access transaction desk. In the menu tab of this site, there are websites that you can do new build searches. So if you have a new build client, there are resources in there that will directly take you to a new build search. So between Armless, Transaction Desk, and Paperless Pipeline that we'll talk about soon, those are probably the 3 top websites that you should all make sure you have access to and understand completely. And we do training classes on all those. So like if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. These are just ones that I would love for you to look at now before we actually do the class.
What's? Okay, so Arizona Multiple Listed Service is the same as Flex.
It's very, yeah. So Armless oversees Flex. So this is like the parent website, and then Flex is a child of that parent. So great observation. It provides us the MLS, which if we go directly to MLS, it's Flex MLS is the one that we have access to. And that's a search engine, again, that has all the houses. That's a site that is used for all property searches, tax records, CMAs. It's been used since 2000. So a lot of homes that were sold prior to 2000, they may not be in this service because they only started using it in 2000. And it is the #1 way to run comps. It's the most efficient and it's current. Yep, because it is live. Like as soon as something closes, this is automatically updated and everybody who has access has that data. So way better than Zillow, Realtor.com, any of those other sites that are not real time. We are members of West and Southeast Realtors of the Valley, otherwise known as We Serve. They are located at this address here in, it's technically like Chandler Gilbert border. This is where you go to join if you're part of our brokerage. This is where you pay your yearly association fees, your MLS dues. You can attend association orientation, code of ethics classes at this location. This is actually the website that I use mainly if I want to do a designation course, like I just did accredited buyer class. Loved it. Highly recommend it. It's free through the end of the year. So if you have time, take advantage of that. That is a designation that you can put on your business card. And there's other local associations. We are just members of We Serve, but some to kind of know, just, you know, there's a Phoenix Association, Scottsdale Association, West Maricopa Association. Those are just a couple of them. Each association has its own website, but we all use the same MLS. The only areas that don't use the same MLS are outside of the Phoenix area. So White Mountains, Prescott, Tucson, they all have their own.
Their own MLS.
They have their own MLS. Doesn't mean, no, now if you're a part of this association, you can list your listings in our MLS. So I'm a member of the White Mountains, so I can, that's a bad example because I have access to their MLS. I had a listing out in Safford, Arizona. They have their own MLS, but I didn't want to join a brokerage out there just to list this one house. And because Zillow is a huge source, a huge not source, but it is a place where buyers go to look for houses.
It's a go-to place.
It is a huge go-to place. Search engine, that was the word I was going to look for. So because Zillow is a huge search engine for buyers, I knew that I didn't need to become a member of that MLS to sell this house. So, but I did list it in our MLS. So even though it's somewhere, because you're licensed in the state of Arizona, you can sell and buy anywhere.
Okay.
But if you are not part of that association, can't use their MLS, but you also want to make sure that they'll pay you.
Yes.
With the changes though, you can just submit a seller compensation addendum with your offer, and that eliminates are they gonna pay me or not? Because now it's negotiable.
Mhm.
Where before, if it wasn't stated in the MLS and you didn't have access to that MLS, they didn't have to pay you. So
Who didn't pay?
the seller's agent.
Listing agent or the brokerage.
Yeah, they didn't have to pay you.
And
Yeah.
that's particularly famous for up there in Pine Top.
Yeah. But now, because of the seller compensation addendum or agreement, you now negotiate how much you're gonna get paid. However, if you're not a member of their association or their MLS, you may not have access to the lockbox, which is a huge problem in the White Mountains. So people will find listings here in the valley. They'll schedule showings in the White Mountains for a client. They'll drive all the way up there, and it's a Sentry box. It's not a Supra box. So unless you pay for that service, you cannot access it. So just some things to know, but yeah. But anyways, talking about Supra, that is our lockbox service. This is the most secure service in our industry. Only realtors or anybody who like pays for the service, like appraisers have access to it, but they have to be given a CBS code. Inspectors have access to it. Again, they have to have a code to access it, but only realtors have access to this program. It's on your mobile phone. It's an app.
Actually, you need it to get into the office when the office is locked.
Yeah, they have the mechanical one in case
Yeah.
you don't have access, because some agents don't pay for it. They don't do a lot of business.
Oh, yeah, they could.
Yeah, but it's called Supra eKey. And it's an app, download it to your phone. But when you pay for the service, they will give you a code that will give you access to the app. And that code is associated to you. You cannot share this app or your code at any time.
If I paid, I can go on that website and find out.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be able to access everything there. This website is where you can register your lockbox, modify lockbox settings, assign lockboxes to your listing. The app itself, you can also do a lot of that as well, but you have to have the app on your phone to program a lockbox. So if you have, and I know online you can't see me, but I'm showing the class my phone. When you have the lockbox near your phone and you change like access times, you push the button on the bottom of the lockbox and it programs it. So you can't just program it from here and then the lockbox be on your listing and think that that's going to program, because it's not going to. You have to be in vicinity of your lockbox. The reason why I highly suggest using Supra lockboxes is because it tracks who comes and goes from your listings, and you can actually send reports to your clients. It is helpful when somebody accidentally takes a key from the listing, because now you know who has the key, who was the last person to enter the home. You can contact that agent, and if they lost it, then they're on the hook for replacing the lock or getting it rekeyed. This is also a really good website to kind of get into, just to look around so you're familiar with it. One thing I do want to note is that if you have the lockbox program, the Supra app on your phone, make sure you have it set to auto update, because there's nothing worse going to a listing and you don't have service and it's saying the lockbox app has to be updated, and then you can't access it because
Where
it's
do
not
you do
updated.
that?
It is in the Supra eKey,
Okay.
and then you can also, I think there's a setting here. Yeah, there's a setting on the app,
Okay.
automatic update. Just make sure it's turned on. If you want to require the CBS, which is call before entering,
Mhm.
call before service.
Mhm.
You can program it on here to require that code. Call before showing. So, okay, so Supra, super icky. Paperless pipeline, this is the website that houses all of our documents. This is the place that if you get a contract, whether it be a buy, sell, new build, whatever it might be, within 10 days of getting that contract signed by a client or any document signed in that matter, paperless pipeline is where you upload it and your broker reviews it. Your broker has 10 days to review that document to stay in compliance, or we get fined and then that comes back on you. There's a $100 late fee per late document. So it's because we get fined. I think we get fined like $1,000 if we get audited. So very important that you know paperless pipeline, you understand how to use it, you understand the importance of getting your documents into our broker on time. And that is 10 days after a client has signed a document. So the question has come up, do we have to upload every single buyer broker agreement? Our broker has said no. When there's an address associated to a file, that's when you upload your documents. Make sense? Okay. We have a ProSmart Facebook page. If you like Facebook and you like technology, Facebook is a great way for not only keeping in touch with other agents, bouncing ideas off of them, maybe selling something like other lock boxes, because lock boxes are not cheap, the super boxes, but you can find used one online for like $85. I think they're like 150, 160 new, but they last forever. And when the battery dies, you turn it in and you get a new one. And I've been in it for 6 years active, I think 5 or 6 years, and I've never had to get a new one. And I think my batteries are still over 50%. So they last a really long time. But you can find ones for sale on our Facebook page because we can list things for sale on there. You can ask people to host open houses for you. You can find open houses to host on there. And again, you can just, shoot ideas back and forth with other agents. So if you're not a member, find us, ask to become.
What's that address again?
I will tell you.
ProSmart?
Yeah, I think it's just ProSmart. Yes, ProSmart Agents. Right here, ProSmart Agents. Business cards. So when you joined ProSmart Realty in your new hire packet, it includes ProSmart ordering your first order of business cards. They're basic ProSmart, nothing special, but they will get you started. You are more than welcome to get business cards made. Get set up with Sherry over at Snap Title or another title agency, whoever you prefer to work with, and they can design you a logo and help you order like really nice business cards if you want to do that. Some people don't care what their business cards look like. But ProSmart will order your first one to at least get you started. If you do any kind of marketing pieces, whether it be business cards, custom business cards, I should say, maybe you make a flyer on Canva, which is a free app. If you don't have Canva, get it. It's great. You can make flyers on there. Maybe telling people, hey, my name is Dee. I've been a realtor for how long? I just moved brokerages. I'm now with ProSmart Realty. Call me if you ever need anything. If you make a marketing piece, make sure that Tony or Mike Schweikert views it to make sure that you have everything in there to be in compliance. Is your ProSmart Realty logo clear and prominent? Do you have the fair housing? All of those little house logo thingies that we require on there. Real quick before I move on to lead generation, marketing pieces. Take advantage of working with somebody at a title company for free marketing. They are more than willing to help you get stuff made up to push your business. You can farm your community. Well, that's a little bit into lead generation, but you know, when you farm a community, you send out flyers and stuff, they will actually create them. And sometimes if you send them business, they will actually pay for a cost, like a portion of it. So build a relationship with a lender, a title company, and get some of your expenses covered because they would gladly help pay for some of your stuff. Of course, you have to bring in business, but if you're a newer agent, just say, you know, hey, what can you offer me? Any questions about any of the main websites or anything that you need to know? Any of the apps? Some of the other apps just, I think I cover it, but just in case I don't. Flex, MLS, you can have on your cell phone. I have an iPhone. Open Door is another one because Open Door listings, you have to have their app to access their homes.
What's that?
Open Door, it's a company that buys houses, fixes them, or just flips them and then resells them. It's like a brokerage.
Another brokerage.
Yeah. Open Door, oh, what's the other one? Open Door. Can't think of it. But they're like a realtor company, but you have to have their app to access the home. So when you search on the MLS and you're looking for the agent to contact, it might say Dale something with Open Door, and you know right away, oh, Open Door, I need the app. So you want to do that because you don't want to be downloading that right when you get to the house. So just pre-download it. Yeah. I have Zillow. HomeSnap is another company that I've had to download their app to access a home. That one's more for rentals, if I'm not mistaken, but I still had to access it. Transaction Desk, I have the app on my phone. Oh, Aligned Showings, which is the showing service that we use now. That will track any past or upcoming showings that you have. It will show you notes, like if there's an alarm code or maybe it's a mechanical lockbox, it'll give you the lockbox code. So that is definitely a must-have. Aligned Showings.
Showing?
Aligned is, yeah, here, this is what it looks like.
No more showing time.
Unless you're in the White Mountains.
Oh, okay.
It's aligned.
Showing.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, so like White Mountains still uses showing time, so
Okay.
I had to re-download that. Oh, Mile IQ. That is a app on your phone that will track your mileage and for tax purposes. It's amazing. You swipe left if it's a personal drive, you swipe right if it's a business, and it tracks how many miles total and what were business. And you can submit that with your taxes, depending on how you file, of course. But that I recommend getting that right away. Start doing it. And I think those are the only realtor apps per se that I have on my
Is there an
phone.
app for, you know, they have an app on that paperless pipeline?
You know, I don't. I've accessed it from my phone, but that's one that's not really easy to like. It's not like I can upload documents from my phone to the app. Maybe you can. I just would rather do it from my laptop. Yeah, so going back to transaction first time login, especially Michael, for you, it is your NERDS number. That is your username, and your password is going to be your last name.
Okay.
So first time logins, that is what it's going to be. Okay. All right, so let's talk lead generation. How do we build our business?
Yeah, one question.
Of course.
When you said you have Transaction Desk app on your phone, is that separate from a separate app from the Flex MLS app, or is that the same?
So that is a link inside the MLS that you can access directly from the MLS, but you can go directly to Transaction Desk. I think it's transactiondesk.com.
Do they actually have their own, it's a separate app?
It
that
is.
You have on your phone?
Yeah.
It takes you right directly.
It takes me right to it, yeah. But when you're on the website, and you're working in the MLS and maybe you want to write an offer on it, there's a link directly in there that will take you to it. So you don't have to like go out and leave that site and turn a new one. Yeah.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I don't really use the app on my phone much, but I have it on there.
Oh, the transaction day.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe I need to look up something real quick, maybe, but I don't think I've ever used it. Okay, so lead generation. So the number one way to generate business is your sphere of people. Who do you usually talk to? Family, friends, coworkers. Yes, we're all realtors, but maybe you have another job. Barbers, dentists, doctors, whoever it might be. Always try to figure out a way to bring up the fact that you're in real estate. When you text somebody, you have the option to add like a signature after all your text. It won't automatically do it, but you put like a keyword like -Q because I don't use Q a lot. So at the end of all my texts, I'm just starting this. I'm going to put Q and it will put Tina Nerland, ProSmart Realty Associate Broker, ProSmart Realty. After all of my texts, I'm trying to get in the habit of doing that because it just reminds people, oh, yeah, she's a realtor. It's all about repetitiveness. If you keep putting the fact that you're a realtor in front of people, one day it's going to pay off. Maybe you randomly reach out to a friend and say, hey, Bob, how you doing? Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Tina Nerland, Associate Broker, ProSmart Realty. Maybe they literally just had a conversation with their wife or a friend saying, I'm looking to buy a house. And you sent them that and it reminded them, oh my gosh, that's right. She's a realtor. I'll give her a call.
Yeah.
So again,
Is that similar to the SIG, SIG?
I think so.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, look at it. Cause I just learned that in the accredited buyer class and I was like, oh, that's so smart. I'm gonna start doing that.
Oh.
I forget to do it because it's so new to me, but I love that people like told me to do that. So I'm going to start doing it. So,
And the QR code. SIG.
oh yeah, I haven't really, I mean, I have a QR business card thing, but I never really,
Yeah.
I like to give out my card more, or my husband will just share my info. But anyways, the number one lead generation is always going to be your sphere of people. So you want to work them. And it's not like I'm saying be pushy, because even myself, I rarely talk about that I'm a realtor. My husband does though, and I give him full permission to. We'll go out to dinner and strike up a conversation at a teppanyaki table. I've gotten like 6 deals from just talking to people at teppanyaki. Not because I'm pushing it, my husband is. He'll be like, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, my wife does this. Oh, you need a house? Great, here you go. So like he's my number one person that promotes me. But
My husband always does the business cards.
and that's amazing. Yeah, because to me it's like I don't want to push myself. I would rather them want to like me and go, oh, I want to work with you. But you know, definitely your sphere of people. Don't be pushy, but try to figure out a nice way to remind them that you're a realtor. It might be something like, oh, what'd you do last week? And oh, I was up in the White Mountains showing houses to a new client. Oh, you're licensed up there? Like, see how like it's so natural. Just what did you do last weekend? So definitely work your sphere. If you don't know what your sphere of people is, write it on a piece of paper. And then put your dentist up here. Oh yeah, I know these people. And then your doctor. Oh yeah, I know these people. And just write it out. And then next time you see them or just shoot somebody a text. I use a text app called Hit 'em Up. Hit, HIT, space EM, space UP. And it is an app that I can take my contacts and I can categorize them into, you know, real estate clients, friends, family, whatever it might be. And then out of that group, I can do a mass text. Granted, I have to individually hit send because I like that because then I can customize my message to them, but I can have my main message like, hi, actually I send you guys some for training classes sometimes. Hi, it's Tina. Just want to check in. How's everything? If you need anything, let me know. So I'll send this out in this program. And again, I can personalize it. So when I just put hi, I can say hi, and it'll say Michael Murray, right? Michael Murray, ProSmart mentee. But before I hit send, it tells me who I'm sending it to so I can personalize it if I want to. And then I hit send and it will send it to you. That is a great way to say Happy Thanksgiving to your clients because you can put a flyer in there. You can attach a little flyer that you had your marketing person make. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm so thankful for clients or friends or family like you. And then you hit send and it just sends it to the people. But you have to hit send like every single time, but I like it. So it's a mass way, but you individually send it to personalize it. It is a free app unless you send more than 50 a month or something. But it's super inexpensive. I think it's $60 for an entire year, unlimited. So depending on your database, you know, if you're starting off small, just do the free version. But once you start building your business, I recommend paying for it. It's a great service. I love it, hands down. Amazing. And that's hit up. Hit them up.
Just sitting up all night testing some of this stuff they're talking about.
Well, and feel free to, like, if you want to do a hit 'em up app and you want to send me a text, be like testing, Tina, here you go.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've never had anybody to send stuff to you.
Yeah, send it to me. I might be like, what is this? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay,
Well, if you
gotcha.
used to do
Yeah,
this, and then you could give me feedback on that too. That'd be great.
yeah,
Thank you for offering.
of course. If you don't have a social media platform, get one. Facebook is a great way to promote your business. YouTube, fantastic way to promote your business, making little videos. If you have a listing, you can do a little reel of your listing, post it on YouTube. Instagram, I've never gotten business from Instagram, but you know, I have it. I made videos. I paid a marketing person, didn't get anything from it. So for me, it didn't work, but for some people it does work. It just didn't work for me, but I have one. Keep in mind though, when you have social media platforms, you are a realtor. And when you become a realtor, which we all are, because we're the member of NAR, you are limited on what you can say. You have to remain professional at all times. So please keep that in mind when you're posting stuff. Not all of your posts on social media should be real estate related. You want to throw in things with, you know, your family and friends and, you know, you're human. Good mix is 80-20, 80 personal, 20 business. Wow, this is, yeah. I put reels are more popular on Instagram. I would say TikTok and YouTube are the two best platforms right now for real estate.
TikTok and what?
TikTok and YouTube channels.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Use them if
Do
you
we
would.
have to run that through this broker too?
You don't unless you're posting marketing stuff or a listing. But if you're making a reel, just mention ProSmart Realty. Yeah, because your brokerage has to be clear and prominent. Trying to think, I had a point to say there. What works for one person doesn't always work for everybody. So whatever works for you. Don't feel like you have to have these social media platforms. You do not. I have them. Again, I've never gotten business from them. I build my business off of my sphere and my referrals. So to each his own. I mentioned Canva. Canva is a free application. It's an app on iPhone. They also have a website. It's a great tool for creating content, whether it be a flyer for a holiday, an upcoming open house, a new listing, like whatever it might be. It's a free platform, so take advantage of that. You can upgrade it and it'll release like more options. I upgraded it once and I didn't renew it because I didn't use it enough. I can get everything through my marketing person at Title for free. So I just email them that. When you're doing social marketing, there's the 3 E's that you should use: educate, engage, and enlighten. Those are the 3 things that should be on your marketing videos if you're going to do something on social media. Make it appealing to the area that you're, speaking to. If you focus in Gilbert, your reels should be based in Gilbert. If you're going to be selling in Buckeye, don't make a reel about Gilbert because it doesn't matter. Gimbals is a tool that is sold on Amazon. It's like $40 and up, but it's great for holding your phone so it's not shaky. So if you want to walk around and do stuff, that's a great tool. It's inexpensive. And then I have in bold, make content. Be consistent. So if that's the avenue you're going to take, just make sure you're consistent with it. 2 to 3 posts a week, 2 posts a day. You don't want to oversaturate, but again, if it works for you, great. But be consistent. Voicemail and email setup. You want to make sure that if your voicemail does not clearly state that you're a realtor with ProSmart Realty, change it. It should have been done when you switched brokerages or signed up with ProSmart. So thank you for calling, or hi, you've reached Tina Nerlin with ProSmart Realty. Please leave a message after the beep, whatever it may be. Just has to identify your brokerage.
And that's,
That's on your voicemail. Emails. You should be using your ProSmart email. You should not be using a personal Gmail. Gmail is not secure. We're looking to make sure our ProSmart one is. Pretty sure it is though. I have a disclaimer at the end of my email, like in my signature, that talks about confidentiality of my emails. And if I accidentally send it to the wrong person, it's confidential. Granted, anybody can sue you for anything, but at least it covers me a little bit that I stated it's confidential. I used to have a wire fraud notice at the end of my email, but I'm not a realtor or a lender, so I don't really have to worry too much about wire fraud. That's more the lender side, but I always have my clients sign the wire fraud form. If you want an email signature created, marketing can do that for you. Oh, and here's that disclaimer that I have. The contents of this email are private and confidential. To that end, if you believe you have received this email in error, please contact the sender, as this email may be legally privileged. Thank you. And then this is the wire transfer notice I used to have, but I actually took it out. You can have it if you want, but it's not necessary. Signs. ProSmart has signs that you can use depending on what plan you're on. But if you are branding yourself, you want to make sure you have signs made. But before you have them printed, make sure the brokers sign off on that. We already talked about marketing. CRMs. If you want to have a database, there are many CRMs out there that will help you keep track of all your clients, help you with marketing materials. CRM. What does a CRM stand for?
Maybe customer records or something. It's like.
Hey Siri, what does CRM stand for in real estate? Customer Relationship Management. Again, some people use them, some people don't. My CRM is my cell phone. I hit them up. I keep all track of all my clients in there. But CRMs are amazing. You can email. I think you can mass text depending on which one you use. Brian Buffini has a very great CRM that you can use, but you pay for the service. I've paid for it and I never used it. So I was just throwing money at it. Here you go, take my money, but I'm not going to take advantage of it. If you need it and you like it, use a CRM, hands down. They are amazing. And there are successful agents that use it religiously. That's just not me. It didn't work for me. But Brian Buffini has a great one. personal filing system, you want to keep track of all your files in an organized manner. So for me, on my laptop, I have ProSmart Realty, a folder, and then inside that ProSmart Realty, I've got other folders and I make them by address. I label it by address. And I know that that file has all the documents for that particular file. So that when I'm uploading my files to Paperless Pipeline, I know exactly where to go. And in that, it's going to have everything I need. So whatever works for you, you just want to make sure that it's organized and you know where it's at. And you might be like, why are we talking about this? Because you would be surprised how many people just save stuff to their desktop and then they're fumbling to find stuff and they upload the wrong stuff. So keep a system, have it organized. There's no right system. It's just whatever works for you. Going back to the CRM, it could be as simple as an Excel spreadsheet. It doesn't have to be fancy. It's whatever works for you. Password keeper, make sure you have a place that keeps all your passwords because there are so many websites that we use on a daily basis. And you're like, oh, shoot, what was my website or password for that? Because you can't use the same for every single one. Maybe you can, but if you forget it, then you have to change it and just keep record of all your passwords.
What do you use?
I don't. Oh, I do. I use my notes on my iPhone. I put it in there.
Friday.
Yeah. So again, whatever works best for you. If I lose my cell phone though, I am screwed. PDF converter, most print options, when you go to print like a document, it'll allow you to save it as a PDF. If you don't know what a PDF, that's a portable document format. That just means that it can't be changed. So like this is in a PDF because I don't want my mentees going in and making notes in here and then changing it and then, you know, so this PDF cannot be changed. So when you get like a pre-qualification form from a lender and you want to upload it to your computer, you can save it as a PDF. You can merge and split PDFs. And I know you can merge them in Paperless Pipeline. I don't know how to split PDFs. I would just save it by the pages I need, but I don't know. I have it in my notes, so I'm talking about it. Wrote this a couple years ago. Smartphone apps, we already talked about that. So SuperKey, Showing Time was before we had aligned showing. The MLS, Opendoor, OfferPad, that was the other one. Opendoor and OfferPad are brokerages that purchase homes and then turn around and resell them, but you have to have their app to access it. I think the last thing we're going to talk about is taglines. So when you're building your business, what is going to set you apart from the average Joe, the average realtor? There's 70,000 of us just in Arizona. So you want to think of something that is going to be catchy, that people will remember. Before I came to ProSmart, I was gravel road real estate where every road will lead you home. I'm from a small town in Nebraska. We had gravel roads everywhere. That was my tagline. And then I came over to ProSmart. I joined a team, so I didn't really have my branding anymore. So I just became ProSmart. Then I left my team and just went on my own. But then I became the trainer. Well, that's who I am. So I didn't want to have like a gravel road real estate. Like I'm Tina Nerlin, ProSmart Realty. That's who I am. So that's my tagline. Mentee trainer. You know, you might be like, well, your tagline should get you new business. Well, no, my business is referrals. So I'm just Tina Nerlin, ProSmart Realty. Mike Schweikart, he grew his business with his tagline, and that was our favorite neighbor. So just silly little things like that, but think of something that would set you apart from somebody else. Get creative, have fun with it. Have the marketing department help you with it if you don't know a tagline. And you don't have to have a tagline either. I don't, and I'm
How do you feel
successful.
about, the ones that are.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So Mike's was our favorite neighbor. Mine was Gravel Road Real Estate. Every home will lead you home.
I don't see that very often.
You don't, you don't see it as
see it.
often as you used to, but it still works. And again, what works for somebody doesn't always work for everybody. Mike is a huge, like he loves taglines. So he's always pushing agents to get one if they want one. Not saying you need it, but what is going to set you apart
Okay,
from
so
another?
it's not hashtags. It's not,
I mean, it could become a hashtag, who knows?
okay. I want to hear about Mike's 101.
Yeah. Well, Mike is amazing to speak with, always. He's always full of great stories, great information.
Mhm.
Um,
Native born.
and he's been in the industry forever. Let's see. So we talked about a little bit of essential tools to get you started: business cards, marketing material, websites to know, lead gen, taglines, branding. Once you have your tagline that kind of goes hand in hand with your branding, utilize marketing to create you stuff. I think that's it for tonight, unless anybody has any questions.
Wow. 5:57. You're pretty good.
Well, I started a little late, so. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Please let me know if you need anything at all. I am always here to help. Have a great night.